So today inside our trading group, we were able to scalp 0-day options on the SPY, and personally I was able to bring in almost $2,000. And just making this video, I was able to put on one more scalp trade, was able to make $1,000, but wait for it, it only took me about 15 seconds. As you can see by the timestamps, I entered at 11:05 a.m., exited at 11:06 a.m. $1,000 in less than a minute seems unbelievable, but it is possible with 0-day options. And while they're crazy risky, people can blow up their accounts instantly, I want to teach you 5 reasons you can use them safely and 5 advantages they have for traders everywhere out there. And obviously I'm someone that uses them consistently. I'm someone that's been doing this for a very long time, and I just want to tell you what I know so you can better yourselves in the market. All I ask is you subscribe and like the video. You know the drill. Let's get into the 5 reasons I love 0-day options. Number 1, great risk to reward. The one thing I like about 0-day options is you enter in a trade and you don't have a gap down for 50% loss the next day on a swing, or a gap down for 100% loss on maybe a 1-day out option. These 0-day options have very targeted risk to rewards, and you're not surprised by the losses that could happen because you're in it same day, which means you can respect the stop loss when it happens, and you're not surprised when it goes past it. And you can also get 100, 500, 1,000% winners on 0-day options. I see it all the time, and personally I've had a couple 300 to 500% winners multiple times in my career, but I don't shoot for that, and I'll tell you why in a second. The 2 best options, if you watch my past video, there's 0-day options and leap options. They offer the best risk to reward because they can run 1,000, even 10,000% in the right places in the right markets. So 0-day options have 0 days till expiration. They're the riskiest ones to use. Leap options have many days till expiration, and they're a lot safer. But that requires capital, ties it up for a long time, and it is not my favorite thing to do because you don't know where the market's really going to go long term. So if you get stuck in a bad market, leap options can really destroy your account. So again, we did use about $4,000 in this trade. We got a 50% return off 2 trades. I think I only made $1,000 on the first trade with the group. But here's the actual entry and exit. If you don't believe me, if you think I'm a scammer, a fraud, or whatever you call it, I did enter on this candle. It was live. We do have the footage for our group. And then I just looked for a quick move. And all I look to do with the 0-day option is get out at 10, 20, and 30%. 50% is where I'll hit the big wins. A 50% win is incredible for me. And that's where I really get in at the right time and hold, and try to exit at the top. But this is just a quick move. We're in the stream with the group, and I just love the formation. I love how we were consolidating, and then SPY really broke out from here. So I entered on the wick, we ran on the next 2 candles, and we exited. So again, if you don't believe me, here's the proof. I did enter at 755. 755 was also my exit. So I exited like 30 seconds later. As you can see, these options are up about 5 to 7%, I believe, and then they ran to the height of I think 20%. So those options, 2 minutes, 20%. You do not find returns like that anywhere, period, end of story. Bitcoin, 2 minutes for 20%, not possible most times. I can find these opportunities literally 7 to 12 times a day scalping options with SPY. So that's why I love 0-day options. The other 5 reasons, let's get into them. They help me maximize my cash. So the worst thing about the market is you're tied up. You have all your money in stocks, all your money in swings, and you're subjected to the market direction. So if you're leveraged at any moment, the market can really tank your account and you'll be in a downtrend getting wrecked for a long time. I don't like that. I like to be in 50 to 70% cash in my portfolio for buying the dip, for scalping. And being in cash allows me to sleep happy at night and mostly allows me to maximize opportunities that happen, like I said, 7 to 12 times a day. And if I can do that consistently, I can grow my portfolio a lot faster. So I just have a $40K portfolio right now for scalping. I use about $4,000, $2,000 per scalp position, and that allows me to bring in sometimes $2,000 a day. So you on and on and on and on again. 2 grand a day can double the portfolio very quickly, 20 days. So less than a month, I can double my money. And I am up 50% in the last month in this scalping portfolio. So this isn't like a pie in the sky dream. You have to hit it right all the time. This is actually up 50% right now, and mostly from scalping. I mean, most of my swings are getting destroyed, but I do like the fact that I can be in cash and utilize it to the best of its ability when I see the opportunities. So the other reason I love 0-day options is they can go to zero. So you can do credit spreads and take advantage of that. Or you can short, go cash secured puts, covered calls. 0-day options can help you maximize the cash return on option selling. But this is something you have to be aware of as an option buyer. They're the most dangerous options to get into. They only say zero in them for 2 reasons. They have no time on them and they go to zero. Just expect them to go to zero. So every time I'm in a 0-day trade, I say, hey, this 3 grand, it's gone. If it goes to zero, it's gone. I manage the trade poorly and I can lose it all. So the money you put in, just imagine that money gone. If you are not comfortable with that money being gone, don't trade 0 days. Don't be an idiot with your money. This is very, very risky stuff, but I just want to teach it because everybody in my group is asking me about it. Here's just 0-day options for this SPY. Calls are down 30%. Anything above the orange line is going to zero. There's like a 70 to 90% chance these options above the orange line are going to zero, which means if you're holding them, every hour that passes, you're losing a lot of money. 10 to 30% of your money is being lost just from holding. That's the problem with 0-day options. If you have to wait for the move, you need a bigger move than you thought to just break even or even make that profit. So it's very risky because those options are decaying quick. That's why I play 3-minute moves, 1-minute moves. I play 10-minute moves max sometimes. But right here you can see the put options for the SPY. You would think call options are down, put options must be up because that's how the market works. Nah, the options out of the money, they're basically at 0%, unchanged. If we go further and further out of the money, they're losses, negative 3%, negative 6%. So below the green line, those options are going to zero. They have a 60 to 90% chance of going to zero. So every time you're in a 0-day play, please understand the money you put in, imagine it lost. If you don't feel comfortable with that, don't play 0 days and don't put in a lot of money. It's very important to understand the risks every time you're in the market. You have to be aware of them 100%. Let's get into the last 2 important things to understand about 0 days is 4, emotional control is a must. And this is something you personally have to figure out. You personally have to maximize. And what that means is when you are in a trade, do you get happy when you make money? Do you get sad when you lose money? And more importantly, when you're happy and sad, do you do dumb stuff? And the dumb stuff I'm referring to is what I done my last 4 years trading. Especially in the beginning, I was terrible at it. Most traders are. It takes a lot of years to be emotionally controlled with your account. And what that means is when you're happy, you sell. You take profit too early. You don't maximize your winners. And that really hurts you for the long run. And then when you're sad, you do the opposite. You bag hold, keep holding, double down, and then you lose twice as much, 3 times as much. And that's the problem. That's the cycle of emotions that can really tank your account long term. So you have to be aware of those 2 emotions, happy and sad, and make sure you're not doing the things or acting a certain way that can really harm your account. Those 2 things I told you about. And so again, when I first started out trading, I didn't know anything about the market. And then I started trading 0-day options. I saw how quickly they went down, and I was just shocked. I looked at my account dropping consistently, minute by minute, just shocked. I was not aware of the downside of 0-day options initially. I did the same thing you're thinking about, which is buying more on the dip, doubling down, and then you get more shocked because your account is falling twice as fast. Because whenever you double down, you're losing twice as much every time it drops. And then you triple down and you lose 3 times as much. Trust me, I've been there. It's not fun. And the only way to get around it, the only way to succeed as a trader, especially with 0-day options, is to have full emotional control. So if you're not in that realm, if you can't control yourself in the market, don't trade 0 days. If you're gonna, use a very small amount of money and don't risk huge dollars playing 0 days. Because there's one reason I think 0 days are game changing for any trader, even if you don't have emotional control, which is they are great for learning. And this is the one reason I think 0 days are incredible for anybody out there. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to make Chipotle money. But honestly, when you're a trader, you suck. You're terrible. Your strategy you think is great is not that great. Just because you hit GameStop calls 3 times in a row does not make you a full-time trader. What the truth is that strategy you used to hit a GameStop uptrend with calls is not long-term sustainable. And the only way you're going to realize that is by trading the strategy more. And so if you hit, let's say this setup only happens once a week, and you think it's a great strategy because the last 3 weeks it worked out, but then it starts hitting a 7-patch losing streak. And you wouldn't have found that out until 10 weeks later. So 3 months later, you thought you had something good, but it was bad. So when you're on a 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute time frame on 0 days, you get to trade this setup a little more and then realize if it's good or bad. And so that way you adjust and adapt and you just get better as a trader faster. So it's so important to understand that what you think you know is not good. And you have to refine that and adjust that as quickly as possible to succeed. So again, when you're on the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes, you can't adjust this fast. You might be an unprofitable trader sucking for multiple years. And so the 1 minute, the 5, the 10-minute time frames can help you get over that learning curve faster and adapt to the markets. So the only thing you have to be aware of is that any money you're learning with is tuition. So you go to college and you pay tuition to learn from a professor who is teaching you outdated stuff that doesn't really help you financially advance in your life and makes you become an employee, so you work someone else's blah, blah, blah. I hate the whole college thing. The point is, you pay tuition to learn some garbage, and people pay $40,000 a year to learn garbage. So learn with as little as possible. You know, $500, $1,000, $3,000. I started with $3,000, and I blew up maybe 3 accounts at that level. But that helped me learn, and that was the money I needed to be invested. If I was playing with $500, I probably wouldn't care because it wasn't money I really was invested in personally, mentally. And so for me personally, that money I needed was $3,000. But when you're in a 0-day account, if you're in a 0-day option, the money you're using should be a lot less. And the point being is what we referred to earlier is that the risk to reward is just incredible for 0 days. So you might be thinking, oh, I normally take like $1,000 positions, $10,000 positions, and I just look to get out at 30%, 50%. That's what I do all the time. I'll just do that with 0 days. But you don't need much to make much with 0 days. If you hit normally 30% on swing trades, 0 days can hit 30% in 3 minutes, maybe even 1 minute. So you don't need to be using that much money. You can have 3 trades, 30% wins. You can use a third of the amount of money. And because it can go to 0, you obviously don't want to use that much money. So hopefully this helps you guys understand 0 days. They're incredibly advantageous to traders for multiple reasons we just listed today. Great for learning, great for risk to reward, and more importantly, they help you be in cash. But they're not for everyone, so you have to figure out if they're for you, and hopefully this helps you on your journey. If you want to learn more about options, I'm going to put a great video to the right of me on a great strategy I've been using recently. If you want to join me 7 days for free inside my group, click the link below. Peace out. Have a great day.